This is the Intercontinental Broadcasting Corporation. Sa bagong Pilipinas.
This is 13 News.
Let's get into the headlines right now. Government agencies are ramping up response efforts amid the impact of Typhoon Inday and the southwest monsoon with a 1 billion peso fund on standby to support the agriculture sector.
Tonight, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. leads a diplomatic reception for the 10th anniversary of the 2016 Arbitral Award ruling in the West Philippine Sea.
Batanes congressmen and several government agencies assert that Batanes is part of the Republic of the Philippines and not of Taiwan nor China amid claims of Chinese scholars.
Also tonight, the cabinet members approved the 2027 National Expenditure Program in a meeting led by the chief executive.
And Taiwan is bracing for Typhoon Bavi or Inday, expected to be its strongest storm since 2024.
All these and more here on 13 News.
Typhoon Inday unleashed heavy rains and floods across the country today. Thousands of families in several regions are affected, with thousands more displaced into evacuation centers.
Massive waves batter the coastlines of Cagayan, while floodwaters have submerged communities in Maguindanao, Cotabato, and some roads in the metro. IBC News correspondent Patrick Gupo has the report.
Heavy rains and floods brought by Typhoon Inday and the southwest monsoon have drenched several parts of the country. According to the Office of Civil Defense, nearly 11,000 families across Region 6, 10, 11, and 12 have been affected. More than 1,000 families remain in evacuation centers, while others have sought shelter with relatives. The OCD confirms 2 fatalities, one from drowning and another from a landslide in Bukidnon. In Mindanao, floods ravaged through communities in Maguindanao del Norte and Maguindanao del Sur. Rivers have overflowed in Datu Salibu and Simuay River crossing. Rescue teams evacuated residents living along the river banks. Flooding was also reported in Pagalungan, while water levels rose in Libungan, Cotabato. In Visayas, a road in Cabancalan, Negros Occidental has become impassable due to an overflowing river. In Santa Catalina, Negros Oriental, a water spout or water tornado was seen forming. This developed from thunderstorm clouds brought about by the typhoon. Over in Luzon, massive waves battered the coastlines of Cagayan Valley. According to authorities, dangerous sea conditions are expected. Residents in coastal communities of Batanes and local fishermen are advised not to set sail for their own safety. In Metro Manila, several roads became unpassable due to knee-deep floods, but waters has since receded. According to the Office of Civil Defense, the heavy rains were triggered by Typhoon Inday, drawing in the southwest monsoon.
Dahil nga na malakas yung bagyong Inday, so nahatak at nahila niya yung hanging habagat. Yun ang nagdala ng mga pag-ulan, kabilang na din yung mga pagbaha at pagguho ng lupa.
Government agencies continue to respond to affected residents across different parts of the country.
Nakapreposisyon naman kasi yung ating mga response agencies doon, kabilang yung mga local government units. So in terms of yung mga food and non-food items, ay nandun naman yun.
Furthermore, according to Philippine Coast Guard's latest maritime advisory, over 800 passengers and drivers are stranded by the storm in several ports across the country. 13 cargo vessels are stranded, while 165 are taking shelter. 346 rolling cargoes are stuck in transit due to the storm. According to Presidential Communications Office, over 248,000 individuals or over 57,000 families are affected by Typhoon Inday. 44 evacuation centers are currently in use with over 6,000 evacuees. Patrick Gupo, IBC News.
A 1 billion peso fund is on standby for recovery and rehabilitation on the agriculture sector amid the impact of Typhoon Inday. According to the Department of Agriculture, it also has pre-positioned rice, corn, and high-value crop seeds, along with livestock medicines and fisheries supplies. The agency also assured the public that there is sufficient supply of rice, vegetables, meat, and fish despite the approach of the storm. Hence, price hikes are not expected. Despite the impact, the DA said Indai's rainfall is expected to help replenish water levels in watersheds and dams used for irrigation. The DA urged farmers and fishers to coordinate with their local agriculture offices for assistance and post-storm support.
Naglaan na rin tayo ng pondo para doon sa ating indemnification under the Philippine Crop Insurance Corporation at saka sa ating Agricultural Credit Policy Council, yung ating Quick Response Fund, 1 billion pesos yan, nakaantabay yan naman para sa recovery and rehabilitation kung sakali magkakaroon tayo ng mga areas na lubang maapektuhan para makabangon muli sila.
Typhoon Indai has maintained its strength as it moves northwestward. Based on Pag-asa's latest data, Indai was last located 525 kilometers northeast of Itbayat, Batanes, passing maximum winds of 140 kilometers per hour and gustiness of 170 kilometers per hour. Tonight, signal number 2 is up over Batanes, eastern portions of Babuyan Islands, and the northeastern portion of mainland Cagayan. Signal number 1 is hoisted over the rest of Babuyan Islands, the rest of mainland Cagayan, Isabela, Apayao, among others. While here in Metro Manila and the rest of the country, the southwest monsoon is bringing occasional rains. Flash floods or landslides are still possible, so residents are urged to remain vigilant. According to Pag-asa, Indai is forecast to pass closest to extreme northern Luzon between tonight and tomorrow early morning. It will then exit the Philippine area of responsibility by tomorrow morning or in the afternoon. It will then move towards the southern islands of Japan and may pass close over the northeastern coast of Taiwan.
The Department of Foreign Affairs has firmly stated that Batanes is an integral part of the Philippines, rejecting the claims of Chinese scholars and stressing that the matter is not open for debate. As the nation marks the 10th anniversary of the 2016 Arbitral Award, officials reaffirmed the country's sovereignty over Batanes and its commitment to defending the West Philippine Sea. IBC News correspondent Bea Peniza has the report.
Boost our position by entering into the all-important defense alliances. And these defense alliances would not have happened without the concurrence and the support of the President. The convergence in that sense, but should cascade. So our people in the statistics will show who they want to work with.
Secretary of National Defense Gilberto Teodoro Jr. calls for greater national unity in defending the Philippines' sovereign rights amid continuing challenges in the West Philippine Sea. Teodoro said this during a Strat-based Institute conference in Makati City as the country marks the 10th anniversary of the 2016 Arbitral Award. The defense chief stressed that the significance of the Arbitral Award must also be understood by ordinary Filipinos.
Because when you embrace, you own, you protect, and you do not strangle the baby or whomever you embrace, you nurture, you steward.
This is especially relevant as China once again faces criticism over a new claim involving Batanes Islands. According to Chinese state-run news article, some Chinese scholars claim that Batanes is a geographical extension of Taiwan, ergo belongs to China. This was rejected by the Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs, stressing that Philippine sovereignty over Batanes is already settled and is not open for debate. The DFA said the Philippines will not entertain revisionist claims over its territory. Defense Secretary Teodoro Jr. already dismissed the claim, describing it as absurd and without any legal or factual basis.
It's a signaling of a preconceived intention already. Hindi rin malayo na nasa plano nila yan. And it also validates yung sinasabi natin na they have the plan to control the whole Pacific Ocean.
Even Batanes Representative Sariaco Gato Jr. views the claim with grave concern. He emphasized that Batanes is a province of the Republic of the Philippines and that Ivatans are Filipinos. The congressman also stressed that Ivatans have always known who they are and that their allegiance is to the Philippines, now and always. The National Historical Commission also refuted Chinese scholars point by point. It says the Philippines claim a greater right over Batanes based on current satellite and oceanographic data. The NHCP further said it stands with the people of Batanes in proclaiming their rights. Amid all this, the Department of National Defense assured that the government remains vigilant in safeguarding Batanes and protecting the country's territorial integrity. Bea Peniza, IBC News.
Meanwhile, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. says adherence to international law is non-negotiable as he marked the 10th anniversary of the Philippines' landmark arbitral victory in the West Philippine Sea. Speaking before diplomats in Pasay City, the president stressed that the South China Sea must remain a sea of peace and cooperation. IBC News correspondent Harley Valbuena filed this report.
Adherence to international law has proven to be non-negotiable, irreplaceable, non-optional.
This was stressed by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. as he graces the diplomatic reception for the 10th anniversary of the 2016 Arbitral Award at a hotel in Pasay City. The 2016 arbitral ruling was the landmark victory for the Philippines against China in asserting sovereign rights and sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea. In his speech, the president said despite winning the arbitral ruling, the Philippines chose dialogue over confrontation, law over intimidation, and peace over conflict. This was under the guidance of the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS.
The rule of law is a great equalizer of all nations. It ensures that right is not defined by might, that justice is never dictated by the relative size of a nation's territory, military, or economic power. It is a very framework that allows sovereign states to interact as equals.
Moreover, President Marcos Jr. emphasized that through the arbitration proceedings, the state also defended coastal communities, ecological integrity of our seas, and the livelihood of our fishermen.
The South China Sea must never be an arena of conflict. It must remain a sea of peace, cooperation, and connectivity.
He then reminded the government, members of the diplomatic community, and every citizen that the responsibility to build upon the foundation of the arbitral award now belongs to all of them. He also thanked international partners who stood up for the Philippines in defending its territorial claims. Harley Valbuena, IBC News.
Cabinet members have approved the proposed 2027 National Expenditure Program. President Marcos Jr. presided over a cabinet meeting at Malacanang where the Department of Budget and Management presented the measure. It will serve as the basis for the national budget that President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is set to submit to Congress next year. The spending plan reflects the administration's priorities for governance and development in 2027.
Malacanang has defended its push for transparency and accountability, hitting back at Vice President Sara Duterte's camp while urging her to answer the allegations against her. Meanwhile, the House Prosecution Panel continues to push for access to VP Sara's tax records as evidence in the impeachment trial, as questions also emerged over her hospital visit to Senator Rodante Marcoleta. The full report from IBC News correspondent Earl Tobias.
Even without the president's approval, the House Prosecution Panel maintains that the Senate Impeachment Court has the authority to subpoena and disclose the Vice President's tax records as part of the impeachment trial.
Pwede yung ipasubpoena ng Senate Impeachment Court, pwede yung pakuha, pwede ibuksan, pwedeng isalang. Doon po sa Senate Impeachment Court.
The Senate Impeachment Court is set to hear oral arguments on the matter on Wednesday. The prosecution also argues that there is no legal basis to invoke the bank secrecy law once the Vice President's and her husband's bank records are examined. On the first day of the trial, the Senate Impeachment Court ordered the return of a sealed box to the Bureau of Internal Revenue. The prosecution plans to use both the tax records and the documents from the Anti-Money Laundering Council or AMLAC as evidence to support its allegation of unexplained wealth against the Vice President. Meanwhile, Presidential Communications Office Under Secretary Claire Castro hit back at Vice President Sara Duterte, saying it is her allies who should be warned against spreading fake news and political attacks on President Marcos Jr. Castro stressed that transparency and accountability are mandates of every public servant, and hiding the truth about allegations against the Vice President would be a betrayal of the nation. She also underscored that President Marcos Jr. remains focused on peace, order, and development, unlike the Vice President who is often abroad on vacation. Meanwhile, the Sandigan Bayan questioned the visit of VP Sara and Senator Robin Padilla to Senator Rodante Marcoleta, who is under isolation for mild pneumonia at the PNP General Hospital. The court warned such visits could pose health risks, while the PNP Health Services admitted lapses in enforcing protocols like mask wearing. As of now, doctors say Marcoleta's condition is improving, but he remains in isolation due to chest pains, high blood pressure, and other symptoms considered an emergency case. Earl Tobias, IBC News.
Rising electricity costs again? Brace yourselves because Meralco is hiking rates this July by 34 centavos per kilowatt hour, bringing the average household bill to nearly 14 pesos and 83 centavos per kilowatt hour. For residential customers consuming 200 kilowatt hour, this adjustment translates to an increase of 69 pesos in the total electricity bill. The increase comes from higher generation charges, taxes, and global fuel costs, with the Malampaya shutdown and surging spot market price pressures. Meanwhile, pump costs will climb higher next week. Local oil industry sources said diesel prices will increase between 2 pesos per liter and 4 pesos per liter, while gasoline prices are expected to go up by or down to 1 peso per liter. These estimates are based on the 4-day trading of mean of Platts, Singapore, the pricing basis of refined goods in Southeast Asia. Coming up next, the Supreme Court has dismissed a petition against Senator Cheese Escudero over his senatorial campaign donations. Stay tuned. This is 13 News. As of tonight, around 117 million pesos in technology truly changes the world as the digital sector further boosts.
Philippines and Japan are stepping up their partnership to secure energy and push for Supreme Court has dismissed the petition filed against Senator Chis Escudero and the COMELEC's Political Finance and Affairs Department. This is in connection with alleged 30 million peso campaign donation from a contractor linked to flood control anomalies. The High Tribunal ruled the case was defective due to improper procedure used by the petitioner. The ruling underscores the court's stance that technical lapses in filing can derail cases regardless of the allegations raised.
In other news, the Presidential Guards Group has its new headquarters. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. himself led the inauguration of the head office, underscoring government support for the welfare and professionalism of the Presidential Security Command, or PSC. The chief executive urged the PSC members to treat the new facility as their second home and a symbol of inspiration. They also emphasized that the building should strengthen their resolve to uphold peace, order, and dedicated service to the Filipino people.
Meanwhile, the Bureau of Internal Revenue has received the Digital Initiative of the Year Finance Award. The award was presented at the Gov Media Conference and Awards 2026 held in Singapore. The BIR was recognized for its 2026 interactive digital tax calendar. The platform makes it easier for taxpayers to access tax deadlines and filing requirements. BIR Commissioner Charlito Martin Mendoza received the award on behalf of the agency. The BIR said it will continue developing digital innovations to simplify tax compliance and improve services for taxpayers.
South Korean actors IU and Lee Jong-suk have ended their relationship after 4 years together. Their respective agencies confirmed that the two recently decided to part ways. They are reportedly remaining on good terms as colleagues. Local reports said their busy schedules left them with less time to spend together. Meanwhile, the long-awaited live-action Naruto movie has officially entered pre-production. Director Destin Daniel Cretton has launched a worldwide casting search for the lead roles of Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. The film marks the first live-action Hollywood adaptation of Masashi Kishimoto's hit manga franchise. Lionsgate first acquired the film rights more than a decade ago, with production now moving forward. While no release date has been announced, the film is expected to begin production after casting is completed.
The Philippines delivered back-to-back victories, unleashing a masterclass of weightlifting at the 2026 IWF World Youth Championships in Cali, Colombia. 4 young Filipino weightlifters led the country's charge, with Jay Colonia winning the gold medal in the clean and jerk event, along with 2 silver medals in the snatch and total categories. Jody Peralta also delivered a strong performance, claiming 2 silver medals, while Althea Bacaro earned 1 silver and 1 bronze. Kirby Kent Alas-As completed the country's medal run with a silver medal in the 113-kilogram division. Golden State Warrior star Stephen Curry has acknowledged the rumors that LeBron James would possibly join the team for the next NBA season. During a press conference, Curry said he would love the opportunity to play alongside LeBron despite their most entertaining rivalry in NBA history. He added that he respects James's decision on where he chooses to play for his 24th NBA season.
I don't have a percentage. It's kind of up to him. I feel like any place he'd call and say, I want to play there, you'd move mountains to make it happen. And I know we're in that boat as well.
Coming up next, Taiwan braces for the impact of Typhoon Indai, the strongest storm to threaten the country this season. Stay tuned. This is 13 News.
The Cine Festival is calling for submission of video entries for, by, and with children. Submit videos with the theme, Hear My Voice. Deadline for submission of entries is on July 31, 2026. For details, visit or contact the following.
The Philippines continues to feel the impact of Typhoon Inday. Taiwan is stepping up its preparations as the storm could become the strongest to hit the country in years. The Taiwan government has activated its disaster response system, deploying military personnel and equipment to high-risk areas. Officials are urging residents to stay updated on weather advisories and prepare for possible mandatory evacuations. Security concerns prompted U.S. President Donald Trump to depart Turkey aboard an older plane and not the new Qatari jet Air Force One. U.S. officials said the older aircraft was purpose-built with presidential safety in mind, unlike the retrofitted jet from Qatar. Though no specific threat was identified, Trump had raised fears on assassination attempt from Iran during the NATO summit. He said fresh U.S. strikes on Iran made him #1 on the list for killing.
Before we wrap up tonight's newscast, we bring you the results of the PCSO's 9 p.m. lottery draws. For the Mega Lotto 645, the winning numbers are 43, 31, 1, 44, 25, and 40 with a jackpot price of 15 million pesos. For the Ultra Lotto 658, the winning combination is 18, 58, 41, 35, 46, and 2 with a jackpot price of 128 million pesos. For the 4D Lotto, the winning combination in exact order is 5, 3, 9, and 0. For the 3D Lotto, the winning numbers are 8, 6, and 4. And finally, for the 2D Lotto draw, the winning numbers are 29 and 14. There is no winner for the Mega Lotto 645 and Ultra Lotto 658. Tomorrow, Typhoon Inday is expected to exit the Philippine Area of Responsibility or PAR, but it will continue to enhance the southwest monsoon, bringing rains to Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao.
By the way, William, 2 weeks from now, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. will deliver his 5th State of the Nation address. IBC TV 13 and Congress TV are gearing up for a comprehensive coverage of the annual address.
Yes, this is always an historic event, and of course, you know, it's great that we will be a part of it.
Absolutely.
Yes, and those were the latest from the IBC newsroom this evening.
We'll continue to monitor the stories that matter and give you updates as they develop. I'm Angela C.
And I am William Thio. This is 30 News. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend, everyone. Stay dry.